Plunging into the submerged world of Subnautica, you'll come face to face with all sorts of strange and wondrous sights that will literally take your breath away.
So strap on those fins, top up that air tank, and maybe bring a spare wetsuit. It's time to head into the deep.
Passing 200 meters. Detecting volcanic activity and several unusual electromagnetic signatures in the region.
Subnautica is a survival exploration game brought to us by Unknown Worlds Entertainment. And it's actually been in early access for over 4 years now, with this, the complete version, looking very different from its initial build.
It's rare to see a game successfully make that transition from early access to full release. And in the case of Subnautica, it looks like it was well worth the wait. The scope of this open world is truly awe-inspiring. And there's a rather riveting story to pull you through it all too.
The game opens to find you fleeing a doomed spacecraft in an escape pod.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
After a little knock to the noggin, you awake to discover you've crash-landed on a planet that looks to be made up entirely of ocean, with only your enormous flaming wreck of a ship to use as a point of reference. So it's into the deep blue sea you must go, to scavenge for parts, explore for crafting materials, and hunt for wildlife to keep you alive while you await rescue.
New creature discovered.
If it ever comes.
It's quite an introduction, especially when you take that first dive into the sea. It's so beautiful, and I got so swept up chasing down little alien fishies and swimming through caves that I almost forgot to come up for air.
Oxygen.
Which you'll have to do a lot until you find enough materials to craft an oxygen tank. And even then, you still have to resurface often to refill that.
Yeah, limiting the amount of time you can spend underwater is really what makes Subnautica play differently from other survival games out there. It drives you to make the most of every second you're submerged. Plus, everything you craft in the game is designed to let you stay under for longer.
Starting out, most materials are only a few feet from the surface, allowing you to craft basic items like a torch, repair tool, and flippers, all using a nifty fabricator. But you'll soon be required to venture further from the safety of your pod, which requires more advanced tech, designed from blueprints and scanned wreckage. Head off without the right gear and you'll quickly find yourself out of your depth. Or worse, fish food.
Oh, don't get me started on some of those creatures. What is it about underwater stuff that makes everything 100 times scarier? Ah!
Oh, well, monsters aside, it is a really compelling gameplay loop. As you explore, you're forced to take risks to reach rarer materials, using these to craft items that then allow you to venture deeper to find more materials and so on. And it never feels like busy work because you're always striving for that new shiny piece of equipment. The vehicles in particular are a real game changer.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I actually played heaps of the early access, and I was just as happy to sink more of my time into this version just so I could continue to live out my dreams as some kind of spacey marine biologist.
It's a real job.
Pays the bills. Scanning items to add to my datapad, finding new species, sorting out materials into specific categories. It feels like science fiction with emphasis on the science. Well, alien science.
Yeah, fortunately the fiction side of it's all great too.
This is Avery Quinn of Trading Ship Sunbeam.
While the majority of the storytelling is done through radio transmissions and audio logs, there are events that will send you off to explore other crashed pods and even salvage supplies and gear from the enormous wrecked shuttle itself. Which is leaking radiation, always exploding, and surrounded by giant sea monsters. So, you know, maybe be careful.
While these objectives are essential to eventually leaving the blue planet, I found there was no pressure to be completing them quickly. So you're free to spend as much time as you want, stocking up on resources, exploring new areas, and eventually even building an underwater habitat to call home.
You look like you could use some coffee.
Setting up a little research facility on the ocean floor not only gives you somewhere to sort out all your materials and equipment, but it's a delight to create a space to just sit and stare into the deep.
It can get really lonely sometimes though, just you and the big blue. So maybe one day I'd like to see a cooperative mode or multiplayer introduced so I could, bring along a scuba buddy and use them as bait.
Ugh. I don't know, I think I liked the isolation. It really added to that atmosphere of being stranded all alone.
I think that's where the success lies in a game like Subnautica. By taking an environment not often explored to this depth and completely submerging the player in it, you're left with an experience that feels new and mysterious and exciting, but all the while familiar. It's a real testament to the amount of development time poured into this game. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, few games out there really capture that sense of wonder and exploration like Subnautica. There are moments from this game I will never forget, even the ones I might try to. It's true, life under the sea is better than anything they've got up there. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Again. I'm never getting in the bath. Ever again.
The water is a bad, bad place.